Hi there, friends and thinkers. The Royal Court, the Vision. That's the new DLC that will be coming to Crusader Kings 3. To call it a DLC is maybe a little bit not enough, because it's a big expansion. There's a vision statement, and there's a big questions and answers thing that we're also gonna look at. Let's get the bigger picture of the vision first, and then we'll go to the questions and answers that they've put up, thankfully. So, what's the most symbolic image of a medieval ruler you can think of? And it's in a throne room. A ruler on a throne surrounded by courtiers, vassals, and petitioners. So the royal court is the vision. You have the realm currently. You have the armies. And another thing will be the royal court. That should be expanded beyond the little menu. Kings and emperors will gain access to the royal court, a throne room where their loyal subjects can gather, where glorious artifacts can be put on display, and where the ruler can hold court in order to deal with the troubles and wishes of the realm. So once you have a certain rank, you gain access to the royal court. Similarly to medieval rulers of old, you can aspire to have the grandest court in the world, or perhaps simply live up to the expectations put on you by your peers. No one respects a stingy monarch, so that's where you can spend all the money in and probably receive some benefits, or at least great fun or a great story for your royal dynasty. The goal of this is immersion in the life of a medieval ruler by letting you take the reins personally and experience rulership firsthand. You'll not only see your ruler occupy the same space as your family and subjects, but you'll have the opportunity to engage with many new and exciting systems, sponsoring projects, spending gold on lavish amenities, solve strife between squabbling courtiers, appoint jesters, and much more. The question is how to rule the realm, and the how to rule has like a personal touch now. It's not about that and that decision that leads to this and this thing. It is done in a personal manner in the royal court. Even more personal. I expect there will be more options for you to influence your people that are in you with the royal court. What is a ruler without subjects? It's they who pay the taxes. Yeah, it's the subjects down below, like the peasants and so on. But it's also the rulers that are your vassals that also pay taxes to you. So there's something more for the lower and the mid-level. Much like faiths, cultures will be made more interesting and malleable. So you can form your culture. They want to support player freedom and progression there. And so different cultures will have different traditions, different opinions of each other, and even shift and change in time. No longer will cultures be static and similar. They want to give us the possibility to shape their own culture and guide its progress. Culture will change at a slower pace than faiths do, gradual over time, tradition by tradition, though sometimes larger shifts can occur due to isolation or as the result of two different cultures intermingling. For example, if you have a lot more land suddenly through a war, then there might be the event of two different cultures intermingling. Like for example, a Viking Norse culture and maybe a Christian European culture could be intermingling if you control like the Eastern Seas or something like that. Growing the acceptance between cultures in the realm, diverging the culture to adopt the new ethos, creating a hybrid between two cultures, adopting the language, traditions, and aesthetic choices you find the most compelling is the goal. Many possibilities to explore, and no two games will ever look the same again. That's the promise. A big undertaking. So when will it launch? Later this year. And now let's come to the definitive questions and answers. It's about the frequently asked questions. So first, there are general questions and main features. Of course, it looks glorious here, right? Can you already pre-order it? Nope. But it will cost around 30 euros or 27 pounds. Around that. The release date later this year. It will be bound to the 1.5 patch. Note that they're currently working on finishing the 1.4 patch that is bound to release this summer. Later this year sounds more like autumn or winter. So what will it include? The throne room. A visual 3D representation of your royal court will reflect all the accumulated majesty and prestige of your dynasty. If you remember the very, very old versions of Civilization there, where you could build an own palace just for play there, that is something similar, I imagine, but the difference of this throne room is that it has also, it is important for the gameplay. It will be accessible to kings and emperor levels and to feudal or clan governments. The royal court will be stylized for 4 different cultures, for now, I should say. Artifacts can be displayed in the court, so there will be artifacts. That's gonna be nice. You can hold court there, interact with vassals and courtiers as they come to you with their problems, seeking a royal judgment. I think this is a very exciting opportunity. I mean, this is something like you always imagine, like the people come before the court and the king has to rule, just in the old fairy tales and legends. It's a classic. You want to include that. It's really nice. Then there are minor titles, as you were used to from Crusader Kings 2. Antiquarian, Seneschal, Food Taster, Court Tutor, Keeper of the Swans, Court Jester. All of these will have more effects than the minor titles from Crusader Kings 2. So you can expect interesting new possibilities thanks to these paid characters appointed with a minor title. It's coming for free with a Royal Court expansion, so the minor titles are coming for free. There's a new idea of Grandeur. Increase the quality of life at your court with fancier trappings and better food, all the better to impress your rivals and attract higher quality guests. There is a new level ranging from 0 to 100, and other characters will be expecting a certain level of grandeur from you depending on factors like the size of your realm. So if you have not enough grandeur in a very big realm, that will lead to problems, because people think you're not the big enough personality for all the lands you got with your military. You can exceed or hit below expectations. Both results will have consequences. Grandeur is increased by many actions, like spending gold to purchase amenities, of course. Ensure your courtiers and guests have everything they need, etc. Surprises. Reaching levels of Grandeur will unlock special actions. I believe Grandeur will be somehow tied to Prestige. It's another form of Prestige. It's a rather peaceful form of Prestige, while Prestige is rather the warlike form of Grandeur Prestige, right? There's inspired people there that you can apparently invite into your court. Similar to the minor titles, I expect. Talented artists, craftspeople like smiths, weavers, jewelers, scholars, and thinkers can work on new projects, adding treasures and artifacts to your court. And I really like that, because that was always something that formed my stories and experiences in Crusader Kings 2, and it also led to better gameplay. Like, you could prepare your heirs by gifting them some artifacts that would give them some bonuses, that would help them out, like some precious books that would help them develop. And I hope that can be done there as well. Like, give your people, like, have some artists in there and have great books for your court, and maybe the books you don't need that much anymore you give to your kids, right? And if you die, then your kids inherit. Inspired guests can visit your court and ask for your patronage. That was something inspiring, of course. That's Mecanum, like it was in old Rome, like it is today. You have the patrons. Today it's it's the many often smaller patrons. You don't have to be a big pomp man anymore. You can use Patreon, right? But back then, and also today often, it's the people with a lot of money and influence that will be will be the one granting patronage. So you take these inspired, talented guests and give them patronage, and they give you something in return. A surprise. An inspiration here. Different kinds of inspirations. Like you would have like an inspired teacher, like Machiavelli. That gives you a new form of ruling or something like that. That is something I imagine. Or you would have Leonardo da Vinci, a talented craftsman, artist, scientist who would give you maybe a bonus to research, something like that. Then there's new artifacts. Artifacts can be added to your inventory and even displayed on your characters in your court. Yeah, the artifacts were of course very common and also a very important part of the medieval culture. You can still see them everywhere. The royal things. It starts with crowns and special swords, and everything ornamental or is exceptionally well done was displayed and played a big role back then. I mean, there are legends about swords for a reason, right? Or about the Holy Grail. These can be passed down through generations, but they will lose their bonuses over time. They can be reforged or retired as heirloom thanks to an antiquarian. I have to add that I think that some artifacts, some especially well done artifacts, should even increase with bonuses over time. Like some legendary artifacts. I believe there needs to be something like that. Like the holy unique sword of so-and-so. But then like common artifacts, like let's say you have 5 different qualities of artifacts, and then you have maybe some exceptional artifacts, like of the highest quality, and these could gain bonuses over time, and the rest would slowly lose. Artifacts will increase your grandeur. They can be stolen, lost and retrieved thanks to claims, wars, duels, schemes. There will also be events around artifacts, like we had in Crusader Kings 2, of course, the search for an artifact, something, or hiring a famous smith to create a special armor that would give you grandeur, and then the smith makes off with a lot of gold and gives you nothing. That was the event. Or it would give you a legendary armor for you and your heirs. Languages are based on cultures, and it's possible to learn these languages. That's a great new addition. It adds so much. Like, so there would be the establishment of a lingua franca, like a language that most of the people in a region would know, and then the local ones that would be used to connect you to your local nobles and to your people. They can be learned from different lifestyles. Each of them will have different effects depending on the use you want to make of these languages. Speaking of foreign characters, language will halve the opinion penalty with these characters. And cultures, of course. Make the most of a multicultural realm, developing a new way of life that is specifically adapted to your population and geography. So it will also have an influence or a feedback from geography that currently is mostly bound to your armies, to the armies you have available. For example, as Viking, you have special armies that are connected to your land, that are doing better in your land. And now your population will also do better in your land. The people that have these cultures will do better in the lands there. But it is also a new challenge for really big realms. What kind of culture do you want there? Will you lose your special connection to the land? Split from your traditional culture, adapting it into something new that better fits your aspirations. Yeah, that's of course a given, right? As you expand your realm, or as you maybe migrate somewhere else, you would have something different. You could migrate from the mountains to some place on the coast, and then you would become fishermen instead of miners or smiths. Each cultures have different levels of acceptance towards each others. 2 cultures will have the same acceptance between them. Cultures will consist of an ethos, traditions, and pillars. So 3 parts form a culture. An ethos defines a culture, such as bellicose, stoic, inventive, spiritual, or courtly. These will have a wide range of niche effects that will affect your day-to-day experience. Then traditions. Traditions are bonuses your culture has, such as military bonuses under certain circumstances, more productive farms depending on geographical areas. A culture can have up to 6 traditions, and you can pay prestige to add traditions to your culture. 6 traditions maximum, if you have free slots for them. The AI will adopt traditions that naturally fit so-called their culture. So who knows? Are they pre-made? Are they made by decision making? For a lot, pre-made will probably be a good thing, but maybe they find a way that the AI learns something. That is an exciting prospect. Pillars lie between ethoses and traditions. They determine the style of your culture, such as your clothes, your names, and architectural style. So you'll also have a common way of clothing there, which is definitely reinforcing the feeling of this is my realm. The people are clothed like that, and you can especially identify strangers or strange people instantly from their clothing alone. It determines your heritage. It is possible to hybridize 2 cultures by spending prestige. You'll be able to choose its name, color, ethos, traditions, and pillars. The AI will also strive to hybridize. As an example, the Seljuks will be likely to create a Turco-Persian culture. Because they conquer stuff, they have to integrate it. You will be able to break away from your current culture. Culture divergence costs prestige and allows you to pick a new name, color, and traditions. The culture will change at a slower pace than faiths do. It will be gradual over time, tradition by tradition, though sometimes larger shifts can occur due to isolation or as the result of 2 different cultures intermingling. We've had that. And as I said, there's also the free update 1.4 that is coming this summer. I'll also try to cover that in following videos. But this concludes the video about the Royal Court. I'm really looking forward to it. It is something personal added to the state, and it is something that fits Crusader Kings 3. That is such a personal game of characters between characters pretty well. I'm looking forward to it very much, and I'll look to cover anything that comes my way. So thank you for watching, and happy gaming to you. We'll see each other in another video about Paradox games or different. Have a great time until next time, and happy gaming. This is Immanuel Can signing out. See you soon, and happy gaming.